About 47% of waking hours are spent thinking about what isn't going on. Meaning, for almost half of your existence, you're living in your own mind. And that's not great, since it could be the reason you feel down a lot of the time. Your mind generates somewhere between 6,000 to 60,000 thoughts a day. Tiny flashes, fragments and impulses, most of which appear and disappear without you ever noticing. But inside that private space, only about 1 to 2/5 of your thoughts show up as words, or as an internal conversation, or a narration you hear. The rest is just a mix of images, audio cues, flashes of memory, feelings, gut pulls, and half-formed ideas that you understand without ever saying them. And that's assuming you're even in the 30 to 50% of people who report having an inner voice at all. Granted, most of these numbers
people don't
are
have inner
self-reported,
voices?
since
You're
we've
lying.
yet to find a
That's
perfect
bullshit,
scientific
dog.
way to measure qualia or someone's
Like right there, I just
experience.
thought of some shit.
Still,
You didn't even.
it's safe to
Nah,
say
you're lying.
Inner monologues and the many ways people think are far too strange,
Where would I be
too
without my inner
diverse,
voice?
and too fascinating to not talk about.
I might be better off, bro. I'm not gonna
We
lie.
just
Sometimes I'll
assume
fuck
everyone
my
else's
shit
inner
up, bro.
world works like ours.
Overthinking shit, dog.
It doesn't.
Swear to God.
At all. Because there isn't one default setting for thinking. There are 5 entirely different ways that people can think. Some people, about 40%, have internal voices, which are like constant dialogues or conversations going on with themselves in their head. They talk to themselves, argue with themselves, rehearse conversations they might never have. And for them, silence isn't real silence. It's just the moment that voice speaks. So if they'd lost their keys and they go looking for
No, but
them,
sometimes
their
I can
mind
go
goes,
silent though. Sometimes I ain't get the
"Did I
voice.
leave it on
Sometimes I
the
can just
table?
zone out.
Maybe in my
Like
jacket.
not zone out, but
Maybe I
like zone
dropped them
in.
in the car."
I can have blank
That
dots,
kind of
like
inner
without
speech shows
words.
up in
It's
about
just like
20 to 30% of thoughts
you
on
know?
average. The variation is wild. Some people use it more than 70% of the time, others almost never do. Then, around 50% of people are visual thinkers. These people don't talk to themselves. They mostly see things. Meaning instead of saying, "Where are my keys?" they get a mental snapshot of the last place they remember having
no,
them,
but I be getting those
without any
too.
words
Nah, you're
associated.
lying to me, bro. I
Maybe
feel
even
like you're
picture
just.
their keys
I
in
feel like
each
you're
place
just
they think
establishing
into.
certain ways people think, but
Other
it's not like
people,
a
or
certain.
about 20%,
Like I don't think
only
this is
think and
separate people. I
feeling,
think
so
everybody
their
has.
thoughts are more like emotional responses. Their thoughts show up as emotional pulls, moods, or body level sensations. Looking for keys becomes a tiny jolt of panic, then a feeling.
Oh
that
yeah,
prompts
but
them
that's.
toward the
I
bedroom
know.
or
See,
toward
they're
their
fucking me
bag.
up right now because I don't
Let
think
their
it's other
emotions guide
people
the
and
search
different
before
sets of
their
people that
mind
have different
explains
sets of.
it.
I think everybody
Another
thinks
20% of
in
people
all of
say
these
it's
ways
common
with
for
just
their
a
thoughts to be
different.
more
You know
like
what I'm talking about?
senses. This means when they try to remember their keys, they might mentally feel the motion of putting them in a coat pocket, or remember the sound of them hitting a surface. Lastly, and maybe
Somewhat,
the
I
most
can understand the
misunderstood
feel,
group,
but not
which
the
is
sound. Well,
surprisingly
I can
not that
remember a
small,
sound,
are the ones that have
but
no
not for something
audio
like
or
that.
visual association
Like
with
if I'm
their
thinking of a
thoughts
song, I can remember the
whatsoever.
song.
These are people who report not experiencing any kind of inner thoughts the way the rest of us do.
They're
Now,
wild.
you
They're
might be
lying.
noticed
I
that
know. I
these
feel like
percentages
everybody
don't
has
quite
these,
add
bro.
up to an exact
These are just the
100.
base. This
That's
is how you
firstly
think.
because this is still a self-reported topic.
Yeah, I think
meaning the
people are
values
just.
shouldn't
I don't
be
know if they're
taken as
lying, but they don't
exact,
really know.
But also because most people are a blend of
Like
more
fuck you
than
mean
one
you don't
style.
interview? You're
You can talk to
lying,
yourself
dog. What are you
internally
talking
and still
about?
visualize things clearly.
Maybe
You
you're just
think
dumb.
mostly in concepts,
You don't think
but
about
get
shit.
emotional signals when something demands it.
Nah,
Mind
I've never
isn't
had a
locked into
thought for
one
real.
format. It's
The
fluid,
fuck?
layered, inconsistent in the most human way. And even within one category, people exist on different levels. A verbal thinker could have full discussions with themselves, sometimes even say stuff out loud, while another hears just fragments of phrases. A visual thinker might see crisp, detailed scenes, while someone else only gets faint silhouettes. A well-known example of this difference is something called the apple test. If I ask you to close your eyes and picture an apple and then describe what you saw in a comment, you'll notice the results scatter everywhere. Some of you will see it like it's physically there, with perfect textures, shadows and highlights. Some could even rotate it, move it around. Some wouldn't even need to close their eyes. They could do it that easily. Others would get a dim impression, like a low-resolution image. Some only see the word apple, or the idea of one, with no picture at all. And a small portion of people, or apparently 0.8%
That's
of you, will see
bullshit, though. You can do
absolutely
all of those.
nothing,
You just
a
described it. I
complete
just thought about it
absence of
more, and
imagery.
you could do them.
And that's aphantasia.
Nah, bro. I think
images.
I think the way
What's
he's
crazy
talking
is
about
that
it is like
with
people
aphantasia
losing their
often don't
imagination as they
realise
get
they're
older.
different until their
But you
20s or
still, you have the
30s.
capability to
They
think
hear
of
people say,
shit. You
"Picture
can't not
this,"
think
and
of.
think it's
Like, what do you
just a
mean the
figure of
thought's gonna be
speech.
in low
When they
resolution?
find
Like, I
out
could
other
do
people
that right there
actually see
and
images,
see that
their
same
whole
shit that you just had on the
understanding of
screen right
reality
over
shifts.
here. Without closing my, and then if I close it,
The
it's even
famous
clearer.
animal scientist with
You see what I'm
autism
saying?
is on the opposite end. She's a hyperphantasic visual thinker. meaning she's able to have exceptionally vivid mental imagery to the point where it can seem as real as actual sight. She said trying to understand word-based thinkers feels like trying to understand aliens. This is why communication is harder than we think. You might describe something with words, but the person listening might think in pictures. You might give someone directions verbally while their brain wants a map. Teachers explain concepts linearly.
No, I will say
Some
that
students
though,
only
when I'm
understand them
describing
spatially.
something
We think we're speaking the same
to somebody
language,
for them to
but
figure it
sometimes
out,
we're not
I
even
paint
using
the
the same
picture.
operating system.
I go, yo, what you gotta
And the
do is do
differences
this
don't
right here with
stop
this
at
and
how we
this, and then
think.
you gotta
It shows
come
that
up
all
under
the
this. You know
really
how
good
this goes
things
like
we
this,
always
and this
could
is
do
that.
without really
You
noticing,
come up under
although they're
that with
kind
this,
of
and then you
insane
do
if
this
you
with
think
that.
about them.
And then
Like
you
how
see what I'm
almost
saying?
80% of us can
You
replay
kind of gotta
music entirely almost
feed it in there a
perfectly.
little bit. You know
And
what I
how few
mean?
of us could even
But
hear
I
it
don't
so
think that
vivid
means
it's
somebody
nearly
doesn't have the
indistinguishable from
capabilities to
actual
have the thought
sound.
and think it through.
Another thing is how you can talk to yourself in your head in voices
But I'm
you
gonna be
can't
honest,
even
I've
do in
never
real
had
life.
super
Every
visual.
pitch, no matter how deep or high,
Like I could
accents or
visualize
tones,
that over
are
here, but
almost
it's not.
natural to
It's not like I
decide.
could fucking like.
You could probably even perfectly mimic
It's just
every
it's
person or
almost like a
character you could
blank.
think of, even if it's
It's like a
voice you
picture,
physically can't
right?
produce.
Like
It
it's
feels
not
like
super
voice
vivid, and I'm not
acting
gonna
if you
lie,
have
I don't,
no
I can't
limits
like
to what you can do.
keep
And
it
this
there
is
for
something
long.
over half
Like
of
after
us
a couple seconds, it
experience.
fades.
Some people
And
can
then I can
also
remember
feel
certain shit about it,
sensations
but I'm not
just
gonna
by
like.
thinking about them. If they think about cold metal, they get a tiny chill on their fingertips. If they imagine running their hand along velvet,
No, when I
they
thought
get a
about that one
faint
right there, I
texture
felt some on
sensation.
my tongue a
If
little
they see
bit. You know
pain,
what I'm
they
saying?
often can't stand looking because to some level they feel
I
it
don't
too.
know about this.
This shows up in around 15% of people, and interestingly, those who report this kind of sensory imagination tend to score higher on measures of effective empathy, the kind of empathy that lets you feel what others feel. And if your mind still isn't impressing you enough, you could even train it to use something called the loci method, or a memory palace. It's basically turning information into a route you walk through in your head. You take a place you already know, like the layout of your apartment, and you assign each object or corner to a piece of information you want to remember. It's the standard tool used by competitive memory athletes, not because they're born different, but because this one technique works insanely well.
I never thought about that, you know.
In studies where regular people are taught
I never
the method,
thought about
their
that.
IQ often jumps to
That's weak as
several
shit.
times
Just think of the
higher
thing
than
you're thinking
before,
instead of
sometimes
thinking about a
5 to
thing
10
for the
times
thing
amount
that
they
you're
could remember
thinking
with repetition
to be
alone.
thought of
And
when
even
you
though it's that
think of
effective,
that thought.
barely anyone uses it. And this is why people with visual thinking are usually better at memorizing, sometimes even having photographic memory, although some consider it a
I don't know, I
myth.
say I'm more of a
That
word
doesn't
thinker.
mean
Like when I
people
used to
with
be by
stronger
myself a
voices are
lot,
any less
to this day,
fascinating.
I talk to
They
myself.
usually have an edge when it comes to
Not
planning,
crazy, like not like I back and forth, but like
since they
sometimes I just, you know what I'm
silently
saying?
talk all the time.
And then
That same
I
skill
remember,
makes
you know,
them more
you ever
prone
been
to
caught
losing
doing that
focus.
shit? I don't know
The
anybody.
truth is,
No, other
overthinking
people gotta be
shows
doing it,
up
but
more
you ever
often in
caught doing
people
that shit?
who
You like,
rely heavily on verbal thinking. And all of this goes to
yeah,
show how
you
the
shut
way
the
you
fuck up. No,
experience
you know what I'm talking
consciousness,
about, bro.
a particular
Don't
mix
tell
of
me you don't. You
voices,
know what I'm saying.
images, feelings and silence in your head
I don't
is
know. I feel like
completely unique to you.
what was he talking about?
Nobody will ever know what
I
your
can
mind
memorize
actually
songs
looks
really
or
well, the
sounds or
lyrics to
feels
songs really
like,
well with the
and
word
you'll
thing.
never truly know theirs. You can
Not
describe it,
crazily,
you can
but as soon as I
approximate,
catch it,
but
it's
the
like
lived
the rhythm.
experience is forever yours alone, because
saying,
every
I can get
person
it
you
out.
meet is in a way living in a completely different universe than you. Their internal reality is fundamentally different from yours. The only life you truly live isn't the one people see from the outside, it's the one inside your head, and it's really humbling to notice that everyone passing you in the street every day has a whole life going on, as special and full as yours. But that's a topic for another video.
We killed boredom. Big mistake. Why we like music. Yo, he got some banger vids, huh? I'm subbing. Spoiled.